today's video, we're going to be talking about sheer shades. Now with sheer shades, they're one of the few products that we can actually do variable light control, or the concept of controlling exactly how much light's coming into a space based on how we're positioning the products. Of all the different brands that we carry, almost all of them are going to make banded shades and some version of the sheer horizontal. Only one of them is going to make the Pirouette style shade. What's great with sheer horizontals is that they give you that beautiful indoor-outdoor look. They can control how much light's coming into a space based on the position of the veins or the bands. They're soft, they're elegant, and they dress a window in a really beautiful way. In the sheer shades category, there are a few different products to discuss. Let's start with sheer horizontals. When it comes to sheer horizontals, or what is traditionally called silhouette style shades, there's basically 3 or 4 different ways to style it. We can change the vein opening from a 2-inch, a 3-inch, or a 4-inch. We can have a textured front sheer, a more see-through or clear view back sheer, or a standard front and back sheer. What's going to determine the opacity of that sheer, the texture, the color, and the vein size is the supplier or the manufacturer. What's really great with this product is that it's an almost 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio of view through to the band. That means that we have, for every 3 or 4 inches of sheer, only 1 inch of obstructed view. One of the other really big benefits of this product is that we can really dial in how much light we're getting into space based on where we're tilting those veins. One of the downsides of this product is it is a little bit higher maintenance. Because we have a sheer on the front and the back, dust and bugs can accumulate on the veins over time, and it can be a little tricky to clean. But don't let that deter you, because this is definitely one of the most beautiful treatments that exists. In terms of controlling the light or privacy coming into a space, we're doing that by tilting the veins up and down. Some of these products can actually have an independent liner that's blackout that comes down behind the shade, or we can get a thicker gauge fabric on the inside of the vein that works to do room darkening as well. So this product is very versatile and very robust and beautiful at the same time, because we can do light filtering, room darkening, blackout, and sheer all inside one treatment. One of the other major benefits is that we can actually do larger spans, sometimes even up to 12 feet in one piece of fabric. With sheer horizontals, there are a lot of different textures and colors available in both the vein in the middle and the front sheer. Again, what's going to determine that opacity or see-through is really going to be determined by the supplier that you're working with. One of the major benefits of sheer horizontal shades is even in the open position like this, where you can see through, you're still getting up to 98% UV protection for floors, furniture, and clothing. So it's a great product if we want to protect materials inside the home and still be able to see through. Depending on the supplier, they would have a vertical coordinating product. So sheer horizontal shades can also come as sheer vertical shades and are offered by several different manufacturers, where it's the exact same material that's being used for the sheer horizontal as being used for a vertical shade, creating a cohesive, coordinated look. Very similar to what we would do with drapery using custom drapery and Roman shades. Something to keep in mind when we're talking about sheer horizontal shades is the fact that the size of the vein, the thickness of that vein, and the type of sheer will all determine how tight that shade is going to close when it's down. So if we're looking for a full blackout effect, we definitely want to add drapery or use one of those products that has that independent roller behind, because similar to banded shades, we're going to have light coming up through the middle of the shade and on the side gaps. Some of the downsides beyond the maintenance factor with sheer horizontals is the fact that they are a little bit more delicate. So if we're concerned about pets or little ones getting their paws on these shades, that's something to consider. Something that's really important to keep in mind with sheer horizontal shades and with the Pirouette style, which we're going to talk about in a minute, is that when the shade is up off the windowsill or as it's traveling, we can't then open the veins. This product needs to be down in the window in order to function and tilt. Once it starts rolling up, it's really just acting like a shade or a roller shade, because you can't do that variable shading like you can when it's down. Another one of the best products when it comes to sheer shades is the Pirouette style. Now, one of the things that's really cool with the Pirouette style is it only has a sheer on the back. So instead of having a sheer on the front and the back, you only have a sheer on the back. What that means is that you can typically see through that product more, and it creates a really unique look as though the fabric veins are just floating inside the window. In contrast to the sheer horizontal, instead of the veins tilting to give us different levels of privacy and light control, they're pleating up and down on the front of that sheer. This product is really great because it typically takes up less space inside the window and you get that really great indoor-outdoor look. It also closes a little bit tighter in a room darkening fabric in comparison to some of the other sheer horizontals, but you can't get it with a second layer of blackout roller shade that comes down the back like you can with some of the sheer horizontals. Pirouettes are generally less maintenance because, again, they don't have a sheer on the front and the back and a vein for dust and bugs to accumulate, and it's a lot harder for material to get in from the side of these shades. That being said, they're actually even more delicate than the sheer horizontals because these strings that run through the shade are quite fine, and the vein itself could actually be pulled off by a little one or a pen. Similar to the sheer horizontal style, we can get them with a variety of different textures on the front vein, and we can get different styles of sheer. Essentially, there's two: the clear view sheer, which is more see-through and a fine black texture, or the standard sheer like this, which is white and a little bit less see-through. There are lots of different colors and textures for the front vein, and we can get them with light filtering or room darkening liners inside. Pirouettes are by far one of the most unique looking and beautiful treatments that exist, but they're also one of the most expensive. Similar to the sheer horizontal style, with the pirouette, once we bring that shade up off the bottom of the sill, we can't then pleat the veins open and closed. So once it starts rolling up, it's effectively a roller shade, just like the sheer horizontals. Something that's really unique and not a lot of people are aware of is in both of these styles, the pirouette style and the sheer horizontal, we can actually get them made into templates to do specialty shapes like arches, trapezoids, and triangles. But when they're in a specialty shape, they're typically permanently in an open or closed position and non-operable. So with both the sheer horizontal product and the pirouette, what's great is you're going to be able to get daytime privacy where you can see through and it's more difficult for people to see in. In the evening, that effect is reversed, so we want to make sure to close or tilt down those veins. And the other thing that's really nice is that both of these products are also a rolling style, so that when they leave the windowsill and go up, they can disappear into a 3-inch or 4-inch headrail at the top of the window, completely exposing the glass. Banded shades are technically a roller product and a sheer shade. We're going to talk about them in this video though, because they also provide variable control or variable shading. They work a little bit different from the sheer horizontal or the pirouette, where we're pleating or tilting veins because it's just a continuous band of fabric with a roller at the top and the bottom that's overlapping those veins to give you the view through or the privacy that you're after. There are a lot of different textures, a lot of different materials of both the band and the sheer. And if you'd like to learn more about banded shades, check out that video. But essentially, the key things to remember is they're a lower price point compared to the sheer horizontals and the pirouettes. They still provide great daytime privacy and a view through. They're a little bit lower maintenance or more durable compared to the sheer horizontals and the pirouette styles. And we can use this shade halfway up the window and still overlap the bands where we can't with the pirouette style and the sheer horizontal. That being said, banded shades suffer from some of the same drawbacks as the other sheer shades. They don't go as wide as some products. They're not as great at room darkening or blackout, and they can be a little bit higher maintenance compared to other products in the market like roller shades. When it comes to controlling sheer shades, whether it's the banded style, the sheer horizontal, or the pirouette, there's going to be a variety of different control systems. You're going to have motorization, wand control, cordless, etc. However, we typically recommend motorization or a wand control with this product. Cordless can often be awkward to position the veins in the way that you want to tilt them, and we don't want to be touching this product as often as we do others because it's typically made of finer materials. Sheer shades, one of the best products on the market. They're beautiful, they're elegant, they're sophisticated. They add that touch of softness and elegance to a space and are unparalleled in terms of controlling how much light is coming into a space or getting variable shading and privacy. But they're typically a little bit more expensive compared to other products. They can be higher maintenance and less durable. However, don't let that deter you from looking at this product category because they're absolutely gorgeous. Check out some of these inspo pics.